Listening Flow Podcast.
For speaking English with flow.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the Listening Flow Podcast, your English podcast for daily life English, real conversations, and easy listening practice.
And if you're looking for a simple way to improve your English while listening to natural conversations, you're in the right place.
I'm Mag.
And I'm Jenna.
So, Jenna, how was your day today?
Pretty good, actually. I had a busy morning, but things became much calmer in the afternoon. And now I'm happy to be here recording another episode. How about you?
Very similar. I worked, answered some emails, went to the gym, and then spent a little time online.
A little time online? That sounds suspicious.
You already know where this conversation is going.
I think I do. How much time are we talking about?
Well, my plan was 10 minutes.
Only 10?
Only 10. Just a quick break. At least, that's what I told myself.
Famous last words.
Exactly. I watched one video, then another, then another. And before I knew it, 45 minutes had disappeared.
I think almost everyone listening can relate to that, because it never starts with the intention of wasting time.
That's true. Nobody sits down and says, "Today I'm going to waste an hour."
Exactly. It usually starts with a very innocent thought. Just one video, just one scroll, just one more minute.
And somehow that 1 minute becomes 30 or 60.
Sometimes even more.
And that brings us perfectly to today's topic.
That's right. Today we're talking about something that affects all of us.
Don't waste your life.
Now, I know that sounds like a very serious title.
It does. A little dramatic, maybe.
Maybe a little. But don't worry. We're not here to make anyone feel guilty.
Not at all. We're simply talking about how we use our time. Because whether we realize it or not, time is one of the most valuable things we have.
I completely agree. In fact, let me ask you something. When you hear the phrase wasting your life, what comes to your mind?
Honestly, small things.
Small things?
Yes, I don't think most people waste their lives because of one huge mistake. I think it happens little by little. One distracted day, one postponed goal, one habit that slowly steals time.
That's interesting, because many people imagine something dramatic. But you're talking about ordinary moments.
Exactly. Life is made of ordinary moments, and those moments add up.
I like that. Because it's true. Most of our lives aren't made of huge events. They're made of regular Mondays, regular Tuesdays, regular evenings after work.
That's a great point, and I think that's why this topic matters so much. Because our lives are made of days. Our days are made of hours, and our hours are made of small choices.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
A bank account.
A bank account? Tell me more.
Imagine that every morning somebody deposits 24 hours into your account. Not money. Time. You receive 24 brand new hours every single day.
I like that idea.
The problem is that you can't save them. You can't carry them into tomorrow. You can't ask for a refund. At midnight, whatever you didn't use simply disappears.
Wow, that's actually a powerful way to think about time.
Isn't it? Because most people are very careful with money. But sometimes we're not careful with our hours.
That's true. If somebody dropped $100 on the street, most people would notice immediately. But losing an hour often feels normal.
Exactly. And that's why we wanted to have this conversation today. Not because we want people to become productivity machines, but because we want people to become more intentional.
I love that word, intentional.
Me too. Because it doesn't mean being busy all the time. It simply means making choices on purpose.
And I think that's where many people struggle, including me sometimes.
Really?
Absolutely. And actually, I have a story about that. A few years ago, when I was trying to improve my English, I thought I needed a perfect study plan. I told myself, from now on, I'm going to study for 2 hours every day.
2 hours? That's ambitious.
It sounded impressive. The problem was that it wasn't realistic. The first day was fine. The second day was okay. The third day was difficult. And by the end of the week, I had completely stopped.
I think that's a very common experience. Sometimes we create such a big goal that we become afraid to start.
Exactly. Every time I looked at those 2 hours, my brain said, maybe tomorrow.
The famous, I'll start tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. And suddenly, I wasn't making any progress.
So what changed?
One day, I decided to make the goal much smaller. Instead of 2 hours, I said, I'm going to study for 15 minutes. That's it, just 15 minutes.
And how did that feel?
Honestly, much easier. I wasn't afraid of 15 minutes. Most days, I ended up studying longer anyway, but the important thing was that I actually started.
I love that. Because so many people think success comes from huge actions, but often it comes from small actions repeated consistently.
Exactly. And I think that's our first lesson today. Don't focus on making giant changes. Focus on making small changes that you can repeat.
That reminds me of something. Imagine you're standing at the bottom of a staircase.
Okay?
If you look all the way to the top, it can feel overwhelming. But nobody climbs a staircase in one jump. You take one step, then another, then another.
I like that. And learning English is very similar. Nobody becomes fluent in a week. Nobody transforms their life overnight.
Exactly. Big results are usually built from very small actions.
And that's actually encouraging, because it means you don't need to change everything today. You just need to take one step.
One step is enough.
You know what's interesting? I think many people believe they don't have enough time. But often the real problem isn't time. It's how we use the time we already have.
I agree. Let me ask you something. How many times have you been waiting for something? Waiting for a bus, waiting in line, waiting for a meeting to start?
A lot, probably every day.
Exactly. Those moments seem small, but they add up.
That's true. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, a few minutes before lunch, a few minutes before bed.
And most people don't even notice those moments. They disappear without a second thought.
What should we call them?
I like calling them hidden moments
Hidden moments. I like that.
because they're hidden in plain sight. They're already part of your day. You don't need extra time, you just need to notice them.
That's a great idea. And hidden moments can be incredibly powerful for English learners.
Absolutely. You don't always need a full hour. Sometimes 5 minutes of listening practice is enough. Sometimes reviewing a few vocabulary words is enough. Sometimes reading one page is enough.
And over time, those hidden moments become real progress.
They really do. I actually have a friend who improved her English almost entirely through these small moments.
Really?
Yes, she worked full-time, she had a busy schedule, and she always said she didn't have time to study. But one day, she started using her hidden moments. 5 minutes during lunch, 10 minutes on the bus, a few minutes before sleeping. And after several months, her English improved dramatically.
That's amazing. And it's proof that progress doesn't always come from having more time. Sometimes it comes from using time differently.
Exactly. And speaking of using time differently, I think we should talk about something that causes problems for almost everyone.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Your phone.
I knew it.
Not because phones are bad, they're useful. We use them every day. But they can also become traps.
That's a good word. Traps.
Because sometimes you don't realize you've fallen into one until much later.
I had that happen recently. I picked up my phone to answer one message. Just one message.
Uh-oh.
5 minutes later, I was reading comments. Then I was watching videos. Then I was checking random things that had nothing to do with the original message.
The classic journey.
Exactly. And when I finally looked at the clock, almost 40 minutes had passed.
I think we've all experienced that.
And the strange thing is that I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. I was just scrolling.
That's such an important point. Because many distractions don't feel like a conscious choice. They feel automatic.
Almost like living on autopilot.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to protect your attention. Because where your attention goes, your time follows.
I like that. Where your attention goes, your time follows. That's actually something worth remembering.
I think so too. Many people try to manage their time, but first they need to manage their attention.
Exactly. If my attention is constantly jumping around, it's very hard to make progress.
Imagine trying to read a book while someone taps you on the shoulder every 30 seconds.
That would be impossible.
And yet, that's what happens every day. Notifications, messages, videos, emails. Our attention gets pulled in every direction.
I know that feeling. Sometimes I sit down to do one task and end up doing something completely different.
That's why I create simple rules. For example, when I'm working or studying, I put my phone on silent or leave it in another room.
That's very honest.
It works surprisingly well. Sometimes the goal isn't more discipline. It's fewer distractions.
I completely agree. Make the good choice easier and the bad choice harder.
Exactly. But before anyone thinks we're saying you should work all day, let's talk about something important. Rest.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because rest is not wasting time.
Not at all. In fact, rest is essential.
I learned that lesson the hard way. One night, I spent nearly 2 hours trying to solve a problem. I was exhausted and getting nowhere, so I went to sleep. The next morning, I solved it in less than 20 minutes.
That's incredible.
It reminded me that sometimes resting is actually the productive thing to do.
Exactly. Think about a phone battery. If you never charge it, eventually it dies. People are the same.
That's a great comparison. Sleep, relaxation, family time, and quiet moments aren't wasting time. They're recharging your energy.
And that's why balance matters. A little work, a little learning, a little fun, a little rest.
And honestly, that's what today's episode is really about. Being intentional, choosing how you spend your time instead of letting distractions choose for you.
And the good news is that you don't need to change your entire life overnight. Small improvements are enough.
One better choice today, another better choice tomorrow. That's how real change happens.
And before we finish, let's remember a few important ideas. Be intentional. Protect your attention. Build small habits. And look for balance.
Because small actions repeated consistently create big results.
Now, you might be wondering, what should I do today?
Keep it simple. Choose one thing that matters. Spend a few minutes on it. And when you're finished, give yourself credit.
Progress feels much better when we notice it.
And let's quickly recap today's message. Small actions matter. Your attention matters. Your habits matter. And how you spend your time matters.
Because little by little, those choices become your days.
And your days become your life. I think that's the most important idea from today's conversation. Most people don't lose years in one dramatic moment. They lose them one distracted day at a time.
And the opposite is also true. Most people don't build a great life in one dramatic moment either. They build it through small choices repeated over and over again.
That's a beautiful thought.
And hopefully an encouraging one. Because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward.
One step at a time. So now we'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you'd like to spend more time on?
And what's one distraction you'd like to spend less time on? Tell us in the comments.
And remember, keep your answer simple. The goal is practice, not perfection.
Every sentence you write is another opportunity to practice your English.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like the video, subscribe to the Listening Flow podcast, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you for spending this time with us. And remember, you didn't waste it. You invested it in yourself.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep speaking English with flow.
One conversation at a time.
I'm Mag.
And I'm Jenna.
And you've been listening to the Listening Flow podcast.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everyone.